Hi and welcome to the Girly Grunge Blog Hop. I'm Donna Salazar. Today I'm going to share a mixed media flower canvas with you. The first flower I'm going to show you uses my new Big Blossom die that goes with my original Bitty Blossom dies. I have one of each of the Bitty Blossoms as well as one of the Big Blossoms on this piece of cardstock. And I wanted to show you this part of the process so that you can see how fast and easy it is to take the die cuts out of the dies. This is one of the main reasons why this is one of my favorite die cuts to use when I'm making paper flowers. Even on the leaves, I'm not even using any tools. So the only one I actually need a tool for is the smallest of the Bitty Blossoms, and even then it's just to get it started. And there's a little bit of detail in the dies as well. I'm using the Tool-in-One from Spellbinders to cup every one of the flower petals on this, the smallest, all the way up to the largest, which is the Big Blossom. And for the smaller ones, you cup pretty much towards the middle, and then as the die cuts get larger, you start to cup more towards the outside edge of the die cut. And this is what all of the die cuts look like side by side. Now we are going to take some crafty power tape and we are going to put it around the base of some folded flower stamens, and I'm going to use that adhesive on the inside of the cup of the smallest of the die cuts on the end that doesn't have the tab, and then I'm going to snip off the ends of the stamens and add a Dod's 3D from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. And you can see that there's a lot of adhesive left around the outside edge of the flower. So we're going to use that to begin rolling the next die cut in size around that center flower. We're adding another Dod's 3D and using the adhesive around the edge to begin the next rolling of the die cut. And so that's the third and largest of the Bitty Blossoms. Now we're using one of my Dod's XL. They're larger and incredibly adhesive. And we are going to roll the Big Blossom around the outside edge now and add one more Dod's XL. And you can leave the flower like this, or you can use a paper piercer to curl some of the petals around the outside edge of the flower. And I like to curl only a few of the petals around the outside edge. You can go in as far as you prefer, but it does make it look extra pretty, I think. And this is what the two flowers look like side by side. And for the next flower, we're going to use the same die cuts, but this time we are going to do a quote-unquote controlled wrinkle. So I'm taking my thumbs and putting them on the outside edge of each of the flower petals, and I'm just kind of pressing it inward. So the wrinkle is there, but it's pretty much just vertical on the petals. And so now we're going to go into hyper speed to speed up the process so you can see how I put the flowers together. And I'm doing that on all three sizes of the Bitty Blossoms as well as the Big Blossom. And now we're going to do the same thing that we did with the cupped petals. We have made a stamen with the crafty power tape around the base. We've rolled the smallest of the Bitty Blossoms, and now we're going to use the Dod's 3D and the extra on the side to begin the next of the die cuts. Another Dod's 3D, the next size in the Bitty Blossom set, and you have to keep the base a little bit tighter on the wrinkled petals so that it can kind of be in control. And that was a Dod's XL, and now this is the Big Blossom. And another Dod's XL. And this is the finished flower. Now we're going to do a wild wrinkle. So I am wrinkling the petal in towards the center from the sides as well as from top to bottom. And I would suggest wrinkling each petal this way rather than just wrinkling the entire die cut, because if you are a little bit too aggressive, you could tear some of the little petals on the space in between them. And this is super fast mode. Now we've done another of those stamens with the Crafty Power Tape, and we are rolling the smallest of the die cuts, and this time I did not use the very smallest of the Bitty Blossoms, so this is the middle size, using the Dod's 3D, adding the next size up, so that is the large die cut in the Bitty Blossom set, using a Dod's XL, and now adding the big blossom around the edge. And this one gets very thick around the edge because of all of the different wrinkles, but I really love the look of it. And because it's so wide on the bottom, I'm using 2 of the Dod's XL to hold it together. And one more on the bottom to add it to the canvas, and this is what the finished flower looks like. And here are all 3 of the Bitty Blossoms flowers side by side. The next 4 flowers use my original Rose Creations, which was one of the first dies I ever made, and the new Jumbo Rose, which was designed to go with them. I have die cut 2 of each of the sizes. There are 6 in the Rose Creation set, and there are 2 sizes on the Jumbo Rose die. The largest flower in the Rose Creation set and the smaller of the 2 flowers on Jumbo Rose are the same size to bridge the 2 dies together, and also so that you can get some denim or cardboard die cuts to go with the original set. I am cupping all of the petals with the Tool-in-One from Spellbinders, and the smaller ones you will cup from the center. The larger flowers you're going to want to cup towards the outside edge, the same that you do with the Bitty Blossoms. Once you're done cupping all of the petals, you are going to use an Easy Runner Ultra from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L to adhere each of the 2 layers that are the same size together. And you want to offset your petals so that your flower is going to end up nice and full looking. You want to try to keep the adhesive out of the hole in the center, because that's what you're going to use to line up your flower and adhere them all together at the end. But if you do, it's okay. I end up using a paper piercer most of the time if I end up getting a little bit of adhesive through the hole. And you can see me actually use it right there to keep the adhesive out of the center. Now I'm going to add more of the Easy Runner Ultra on each of the layers except the smallest. I have created a stamen with a stiff pick sort of end on it by twirling the ends together and using my Girly Grunge art medium to stiffen it. And then I just add the layers from smallest to largest, trim the ends a little bit, fold them over, and use a Dod's XL to hold the stamen together. Now I've done the same thing with all of these die cuts, but I have the flower petals cupped downward instead of upward. I've done the same thing with the stamen and the same thing with each of the layers, and now I'm just adhering them together. And this is what these look like side by side. So now we're going to do the same thing that we did with the Bitty Blossoms. I have the controlled wrinkle, which is wrinkling the 2 sides in towards each other so that the wrinkles are all vertical. And I will adhere the 2 layers together of each size. And then I have the kind of wild and crazy wrinkle on each of the petals, wrinkling in towards the center from the sides and from the end. and I'll just adhere those layers together. So this is the controlled wrinkle, again with the stamen with the pick on the end created with Girly Grunge Art Medium. And each of these layers are adhered together with the Easy Runner Ultra. So this is what the controlled wrinkled flower looks like. And now this is the wild wrinkle, again with that stamen with the pick made with Girly Grunge Art Medium. Adhering each of the layers with the Easy Runner Ultra. I think that this is actually one of my most favorite flowers. It's really easy and it comes out so pretty. And this is the two flowers side by side. And here's a close-up of some of the flowers that are on my canvas. And I used my Girly Grunge tissue tape from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L to finish the sides of the canvas. And I also used one of my new favorite dies. Cascading Butterflies gives you a ton of butterflies and the frame with my Girly Grunge art medium that I use for almost everything mixed media. I added some butterflies, created a glaze using the medium with my pigment powders from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. And I also used the pigment powders to create some shimmery sprays for the background of the canvas that I sprayed right onto wet acrylic paint. And you can visit my website where I have the blog, gallery, e-classes, and you can find out more about this project, see close-ups, also enter into our giveaway. All of my products from Scrapbook Adhesives are available on their website, shown here, and all of my products from Spellbinders are available on their website, shown here. And here are my social media accounts so you can visit me online. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.